Ladies and gentlemen, imagine a scenario where each day you commit to improving yourself by just 1%. At first glance, this may seem insignificant, a mere fraction of your daily routine. However, when compounded over time, this small, consistent effort can lead to remarkable transformation. As author James Clear illustrates, if you can get 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. James Clear. This principle of continuous improvement is not about making radical changes overnight. Instead, it's about recognizing the power of incremental progress. Small adjustments, when applied consistently, accumulate and result in significant advancements. This approach is akin to the concept of compounding interest in finance, where modest, regular contributions grow exponentially over time. To harness this power, consider the following strategies. Small daily improvements lead to big results. Success is not built overnight. It is not the result of one massive action, one big decision, or one moment of brilliance. Instead, it is the product of small, consistent efforts applied over time. This is the power of improving yourself by just 1% every single day. While 1% may seem like an insignificant amount, it compounds, grows, and ultimately transforms your life in ways you could never imagine. The reason most people fail to achieve their goals is not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity. It is because they underestimate the power of small progress. They seek instant results and get discouraged when they don't see immediate change. But true growth, lasting success, and meaningful transformation happen gradually. The changes may not be noticeable at first, but over time they add up. And one day you look back and realize just how far you've come. Think about how nature works. A tree does not grow to its full height in a single day. A river does not carve through mountains in an instant. These transformations take time, patience, and consistency. The same applies to self-improvement. When you commit to being just 1% better every day, the progress may seem slow, but it is happening beneath the surface. A person who reads one page of a book daily may not notice a difference in a week, but over time, they will have finished multiple books, expanded their knowledge, and developed a habit that changes their life. A person who does one extra push-up every day may not see results immediately, but a year later, they will be stronger, healthier, and more disciplined. The secret is to trust the process, even when progress is invisible. Many people fall into the trap of all-or-nothing thinking. They believe that if they can't make a drastic change right away, then it's not worth trying at all. But the truth is, perfection is an illusion. And waiting for the perfect moment to start is the biggest mistake you can make. Improvement does not come from making massive leaps. It comes from taking small, consistent steps forward. If you focus on being just a little better than you were yesterday, those small changes will accumulate and lead to extraordinary results over time. This is how champions are made, how businesses grow, how skills are mastered, and how lives are transformed. One of the greatest examples of this principle is found in the world of sports. Elite athletes do not wake up one day and suddenly become the best in their field. They train, practice, and refine their skills every single day. They understand that marginal improvements, faster reaction times, slightly better endurance, a little more precision, can be the difference between winning and losing. The British cycling team, for instance, transformed from being average to world-class through a philosophy called marginal gains. They improved everything by just 1%, from the aerodynamics of their bikes to the fabric of their uniforms, even down to the pillows they slept on for better recovery. Over time, these tiny improvements added up, and they went on to dominate the sport, winning multiple Olympic gold medals and Tour de France titles. The same principle applies to every area of life. If you improve your mindset by 1% every day, you will develop unshakable confidence over time. If you improve your discipline by 1% daily, you will become unstoppable in achieving your goals. If you improve your relationships by just 1% every day, by listening a little more, expressing gratitude a little more, showing kindness a little more, you will build deeper, more meaningful connections. The challenge is that these small improvements are easy to overlook. Because they don't create immediate results, people dismiss them as unimportant. But just as small positive improvements compound into massive success, small negative choices compound into failure. Skipping one workout doesn't make you unfit overnight, but skipping workouts consistently leads to loss of strength and health. Spending a little more than you earn doesn't make you bankrupt in a day, but doing it consistently leads to financial ruin. That is why daily habits matter. Your life today is the result of the small decisions you made in the past, and your future will be shaped by the small decisions you make today. The key to making small improvements work is to be intentional. You must actively seek ways to be just a little better than you were yesterday. This doesn't mean overloading yourself with unrealistic expectations. It simply means finding one area, just one, and making a small, manageable improvement in it. Maybe it's drinking more water. Maybe it's taking 5 minutes to meditate. Maybe it's writing down 3 things you're grateful for. These small actions, done daily, will change your mindset, your habits, and ultimately your life. When you embrace the idea of 1% improvement every day, you shift your focus from short-term results to long-term growth. You stop seeking quick fixes and start building a strong foundation for success. You learn to trust the process, even when progress is slow. And most importantly, you develop the discipline and consistency that separate those who dream from those who achieve. So the next time you feel stuck or overwhelmed, remember this. You don't need to change everything overnight. You don't need to have it all figured out today. You just need to be a little better than you were yesterday. If you commit to that, success is inevitable. One day you will look back and realize that the small daily improvements you made turned you into the person you always dreamed of becoming. Keep going, keep improving, keep growing, 1% at a time. Small daily improvements lead to big results, and consistency is more powerful than intensity. Success is not the result of one massive action, one moment of brilliance, or one grand leap. It is the outcome of small, daily efforts that compound over time. Many people believe that they need to completely overhaul their lives to achieve their dreams, but the truth is that true transformation comes from improving yourself by just 1% every single day. At first, the changes may seem so small that they feel insignificant. However, over time, these small improvements accumulate and lead to extraordinary results. The key to unlocking your full potential is understanding that growth is not about making massive, immediate changes. It is about committing to small, consistent improvements that will eventually lead to a complete transformation. Think about how nature operates. A tree does not grow to its full height overnight. A river does not carve through rock in an instant. Every great transformation happens slowly through steady, continuous effort. This is the power of small improvements. If you choose to get 1% better each day, the progress may seem invisible at first. You may feel like you are making no difference. But over time, those tiny improvements will build up. And one day you will look back and realize just how far you have come. Most people fail to achieve their goals because they expect instant results. They start with enthusiasm, but when they don't see immediate change, they become discouraged and give up. The reason behind this is that they focus too much on speed and not enough on consistency. They want to get fit in a week, build a business in a month, or master a skill in days. But real success doesn't work like that. Success is a slow process that rewards those who are patient, disciplined, and willing to keep going even when results are not immediately visible. Consider the process of boiling water. If you heat water to 90 degrees Celsius, it is hot, but it is not boiling. If you stop at 99 degrees, you are still one step away from the transformation. But when you reach 100 degrees, everything changes. The water turns into steam, creating the power to move massive engines. That last degree makes all the difference, but it would never happen without the steady heat leading up to it. This is how personal growth works. You may be making progress every day, but if you stop too soon, you will never reach the moment of transformation. This is why consistency is more powerful than intensity. Many people start with extreme motivation. They decide to wake up at 5 a.m., go to the gym for 2 hours, read 5 books in a week, and completely change their diet. But because these changes are too drastic, they quickly burn out, the motivation fades, and they return to their old habits. On the other hand, those who focus on small, manageable improvements and stick with them consistently will always outlast those who rely on bursts of intense effort. A person who exercises for 10 minutes every day will be in better shape after a year than someone who works out for 2 hours one day, but then gives up for weeks. A person who reads for just 10 minutes every day will have gained far more knowledge than someone who reads for hours in one sitting, but never returns to the habit. The key to success is not intensity, it is consistency. The ones who achieve great things in life are not necessarily the most talented, the smartest, or the luckiest. They are simply the ones who show up every day, no matter what. One of the best examples of this principle comes from the world of sports. Elite athletes do not train for hours one day and then take weeks off. They follow a structured routine, improving a little bit each day. They know that consistency is what separates champions from those who never reach their potential. Small adjustments, whether in diet, practice, or mindset, eventually lead to peak performance. The same is true for artists, musicians, business leaders, and anyone who has ever achieved greatness. They did not succeed because they worked hard for a short period of time. They succeeded because they worked hard every single day. Another powerful example is the story of the British cycling team. For years, they were considered average at best. But when they adopted a strategy called marginal gains, everything changed. They focused on improving everything by just 1%. Better nutrition, better sleep, better bike technology, even better hand-washing techniques to avoid illness. At first, these improvements seemed minor, but over time, they compounded. The result? The team dominated world cycling, winning multiple Olympic gold medals and Tour de France titles. Their success was not due to one big change, but rather many small changes made consistently over time. The reason consistency works so well is because it creates habits. And habits are what determine the course of your life. If you commit to improving yourself by 1% every day, it becomes a part of who you are. You no longer have to force yourself to take action. It becomes natural. You begin to see yourself as someone who grows every day, who never stops improving, and who refuses to settle for mediocrity. The biggest mistake people make is thinking that small efforts don't matter. But just as small positive improvements compound into massive success, small negative choices compound into failure. Skipping one workout doesn't make you unfit overnight, but skipping workouts consistently leads to weakness. Eating one unhealthy meal doesn't harm you, but consistently making poor food choices leads to long-term health issues. Spending money recklessly once may not seem like a big deal, but doing it regularly leads to financial stress. This is why being mindful of daily habits is so important. So what does improving by 1% every day actually look like? It means taking small steps forward, reading one more page, waking up 5 minutes earlier, practicing gratitude for a few extra moments, choosing water instead of soda, doing one extra push-up. These tiny decisions may seem unimportant at the moment, but over time they will change your life. The journey to self-improvement is not about making huge dramatic changes all at once. It is about making small, consistent choices that build upon each other. If you improve yourself by just 1% today, and then another 1% tomorrow, and you keep going, one day you will look back and realize that you have completely transformed into the person you always wanted to become. It may take time, but the results will be undeniable. So ask yourself, are you willing to take that first 1% step today? Because success does not belong to those who wait for the perfect moment. It belongs to those who take small, consistent actions every single day. Keep improving, keep growing, and trust the process. Your future self will thank you. One of the biggest obstacles to self-improvement is the unrealistic pursuit of perfection. Many people never take action because they are waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect conditions. They tell themselves they will start when they have more time, more knowledge, more money, or more confidence. But in reality, perfection is an illusion. It does not exist, and the longer you wait for it, the more opportunities you let slip away. True progress comes not from waiting for the perfect conditions, but from starting where you are with what you have and improving little by little every day. Perfectionism is often the enemy of progress. It convinces you that if you cannot do something flawlessly, then you should not do it at all. This kind of thinking leads to procrastination, self-doubt, and ultimately inaction. But the truth is, no one starts out perfect. Every master was once a beginner. Every expert once struggled with the basics. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is not talent, luck, or intelligence. It is the willingness to make mistakes, learn from them, and keep moving forward. Think about a child learning to walk. They do not wait until they are certain they can walk perfectly before taking their first step. They stand up, stumble, fall, and try again. They do not judge themselves for falling. They simply keep practicing until walking becomes effortless. Yet, as adults, we often forget this simple truth. We hesitate to start something new because we fear failure. We avoid challenges because we are afraid of looking foolish. But growth only happens when we allow ourselves to be imperfect and embrace the learning process. Progress is messy. It is full of mistakes, setbacks, and challenges. But every mistake is a lesson. Every setback is a stepping stone. The greatest achievements in history did not come from people who never failed. They came from people who failed over and over again, but refused to quit. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Michael Jordan missed thousands of shots before becoming one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Writers, musicians, entrepreneurs, every successful person has a story of failure, but they did not let failure define them. They used it to grow, to improve, and to keep pushing forward. The key to lasting success is to shift your focus from perfection to progress. Instead of asking, "Am I doing this perfectly?" ask, "Am I doing this better than I did yesterday?" Instead of comparing yourself to others who are further along, compare yourself to who you were last week, last month, last year. The only person you need to compete with is yourself. If you are even 1% better today than you were yesterday, you are moving in the right direction. And over time, those small improvements will lead to extraordinary results. Many people hesitate to start something new because they fear judgment from others. They worry about what people will think if they make mistakes, if they are not immediately good at something, or if they struggle in the beginning. But the truth is, most people are too focused on their own lives to be paying attention to your mistakes. And even if they do notice, their opinions do not define your success. The only thing that matters is your commitment to improving yourself. The problem with perfectionism is that it creates unrealistic expectations. It makes you believe that you should be great at something immediately, without practice, without effort, without failure. But mastery is a process. Growth is a journey. No one expects a seed to turn into a tree overnight. And no one should expect themselves to become an expert without time, effort, and patience. The most important thing is to keep going, even when progress feels slow. It is easy to get discouraged when you do not see immediate results, but real change happens gradually. Think about someone who decides to get in shape. They go to the gym, work hard, and expect to see results right away. But after a week, they look in the mirror and see no difference. If they focus only on perfection, they might quit, believing that their effort is pointless. But if they focus on progress, they will keep going, knowing that every workout is making them stronger, healthier, and more disciplined. And over time, the results will become visible. The same applies to any area of life: learning a new skill, starting a business, improving relationships, or developing a positive mindset. The process will not always be smooth. There will be setbacks, frustrations, and moments when you feel like giving up. But if you stay focused on progress instead of perfection, you will keep moving forward. The small improvements you make each day will add up, and one day you will look back and realize just how far you have come. One of the most powerful ways to shift your mindset from perfection to progress is to celebrate small wins. Many people only celebrate major achievements, but true success is built on small victories. If you wrote one page of a book today, that is progress. If you exercised for 5 minutes, that is progress. If you took one step outside your comfort zone, that is progress. By acknowledging and appreciating these small wins, you reinforce positive habits and build momentum. Another important mindset shift is to view failure as feedback. Instead of seeing mistakes as signs that you are not good enough, see them as lessons that are guiding you toward improvement. Every failure contains valuable information about what works, what does not, and how you can do better next time. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who avoid failure. They are the ones who learn from it, adjust their approach, and keep going. When you focus on progress, you free yourself from the pressure of perfection. You stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect conditions. You take action even when things are not ideal. You embrace the process, knowing that every small step forward is bringing you closer to your goals. And most importantly, you enjoy the journey instead of constantly chasing an unattainable idea of perfection. So let go of the need to be perfect. Let go of the fear of making mistakes. Start where you are, with what you have, and commit to improving just a little bit each day. If you focus on progress instead of perfection, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Over time, the small steps you take will turn into massive leaps, and you will become the person you always knew you could be. Keep moving forward, keep growing, and trust that every effort you make is shaping the incredible future ahead of you. Self-discipline is one of the most powerful forces in personal growth, yet it is also one of the most challenging to master. It is the ability to control impulses, stay focused on long-term goals, and resist the temptation of short-term gratification. Many people assume that discipline is something you either have or do not have, but the truth is that it is a skill that can be developed. Like a muscle, the more you train it, the stronger it becomes. Every small act of discipline compounds over time, creating a powerful foundation for success and self-improvement. Without discipline, motivation fades, goals remain unachieved, and progress slows. However, when you commit to strengthening your discipline just a little bit each day, you create unstoppable momentum that pushes you forward even when motivation is low. The greatest misconception about discipline is that it is restrictive. that it takes away freedom and makes life dull. In reality, discipline creates freedom. When you are disciplined with your time, you gain more control over your schedule and reduce stress. When you are disciplined with your finances, you avoid unnecessary debt and build financial security. When you are disciplined with your health, you prevent disease and increase energy levels. The more disciplined you become, the more choices you have, because discipline eliminates chaos and brings order to your life. It gives you the power to create the life you want, rather than being a victim of circumstances. Developing discipline starts with small, consistent actions. It is easy to think that major life changes happen through big dramatic decisions, but the truth is, real transformation happens in the tiny choices you make every day. The decision to wake up early and get things done instead of hitting snooze. The decision to read a book instead of scrolling through social media. The decision to exercise even when you do not feel like it. These small moments may seem insignificant, but they build upon each other, creating a strong foundation of discipline that leads to incredible results over time. The key is to start small and build gradually. If you try to change everything at once, it becomes overwhelming. But if you commit to improving just 1% every day, your self-discipline will naturally grow stronger without feeling forced or unnatural. One of the greatest challenges with discipline is dealing with discomfort. When you push yourself beyond your comfort zone, your mind resists. It will come up with excuses, distractions, and justifications to avoid the discomfort of discipline. This is where most people give up. They start strong, but quit as soon as it becomes difficult. But discipline is not about feeling good in the moment. It is about staying committed to your goals, even when it is hard. When you train yourself to push through discomfort, you build resilience, mental toughness, and an unshakable work ethic. The ability to do what needs to be done, even when you do not feel like it, is what separates successful people from those who remain stuck. A powerful strategy to strengthen discipline is to create systems and routines. Willpower alone is not enough to stay consistent. If you rely on motivation, you will only take action when you feel inspired. But discipline is about doing the work even when motivation is absent. The best way to ensure consistency is to build habits and routines that make discipline automatic. For example, if you want to exercise daily, set a fixed time for your workout. Prepare your workout clothes in advance and remove any distractions that might tempt you to skip it. If you want to eat healthier, plan your meals ahead of time, keep healthy snacks available, and eliminate junk food from your environment. When you make disciplined actions easier to follow, they become second nature over time. Another key to developing discipline is self-accountability. Many people struggle with discipline because they allow themselves too much room for negotiation. They set goals but constantly make excuses to delay or avoid taking action. To overcome this, create a system of accountability. Track your progress, set deadlines, and commit to non-negotiable rules for yourself. If you tell yourself you will wake up early, do not allow the option of hitting snooze. If you commit to reading daily, do not let yourself skip a day. The more you hold yourself accountable, the stronger your discipline becomes. Some people find it helpful to have an accountability partner, someone who checks in on their progress and holds them responsible for their commitments. When you know that someone else is watching, it becomes harder to make excuses and easier to stay consistent. The power of discipline is most evident in long-term success. Many people look at high achievers and think they are just naturally gifted or lucky. But in reality, their success is built on years of disciplined effort. Athletes train relentlessly even on the days they do not feel like it. Entrepreneurs work on their businesses daily even when results are slow. Artists practice their craft consistently even when inspiration is lacking. Success is not the result of a single grand effort. It is the outcome of daily discipline, repeated over time until it becomes impossible to fail. It is important to remember that discipline is not about being perfect. There will be days when you fall short, when you miss a workout, when you procrastinate, or when you give in to distractions. The key is not to let a temporary setback turn into a permanent failure. Many people make the mistake of giving up entirely just because they broke their routine once. But discipline is not about never failing. It is about getting back on track as quickly as possible. If you miss a day, do not miss two. If you slip up, do not dwell on it. Learn from it, adjust, and keep moving forward. The ability to recover quickly from setbacks is what keeps discipline strong in the long run. One of the most underrated aspects of discipline is the way it builds self-respect. When you set a goal and stay committed to it, you develop a sense of trust in yourself. You prove to yourself that you can follow through on your commitments, that you are capable of pushing through discomfort, and that you are in control of your own life. This inner confidence spills over into every area of your life. You become more decisive, more resilient, and more capable of handling challenges. Self-discipline is not just about achieving goals. It is about becoming the kind of person who follows through, who takes responsibility, and who consistently grows into their best self. Every small act of discipline you practice today brings you one step closer to the life you want. It does not have to be perfect, and it does not have to be extreme. All it takes is small, consistent effort. If you improve your discipline by just 1% each day, the results over time will be extraordinary. The secret to long-term success is not in massive bursts of effort, but in the small daily actions that, over time, create unstoppable momentum. No matter where you are today, you have the power to strengthen your discipline, push past your limitations, and build the future you deserve. Keep moving forward, one disciplined step at a time, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never imagined possible. One of the most powerful yet overlooked aspects of self-improvement is the environment in which you place yourself. The people you surround yourself with, the content you consume, the habits you reinforce, and the spaces you spend your time in all have a profound impact on your progress. Many people focus entirely on willpower, discipline, and motivation, without realizing that environment plays a crucial role in determining whether their efforts will succeed or fail. If you are constantly exposed to negativity, distractions, and unhealthy influences, no amount of motivation will be enough to counteract it. However, when you intentionally shape your environment to support your goals, progress becomes easier, consistency becomes natural, and success becomes inevitable. One of the most significant influences on your environment is the people you spend time with. Humans are naturally social creatures, and we tend to adopt the habits, beliefs, and mindsets of those around us. If you surround yourself with people who are constantly complaining, making excuses, or living without direction, it becomes much harder to stay focused on growth. Their negativity seeps into your thoughts. Their doubts plant seeds of hesitation in your mind, and their lack of ambition can subtly lower your own standards. On the other hand, when you spend time with people who are driven, optimistic, and committed to self-improvement, their energy lifts you up. Their conversations inspire you. Their habits challenge you, and their success reminds you of what is possible. This does not mean you need to cut people out of your life completely, but it does mean being intentional about who you allow to influence your thoughts and actions. If you want to grow, surround yourself with people who push you to be better, who encourage your progress, and who challenge you to rise above your limitations. Beyond people, another crucial aspect of your environment is the information you consume. In today's digital world, we are constantly bombarded with content, news, social media, entertainment, advertisements, all fighting for our attention. Without realizing it, the things you watch, read, and listen to shape your mindset, beliefs, and even your identity. If you consume content that is full of negativity, fear, or mediocrity, it will affect the way you think. But if you fill your mind with knowledge, inspiration, and wisdom, you create an internal environment that fuels growth. Instead of mindlessly scrolling through social media, choose to read books that expand your thinking. Instead of watching content that distracts you, listen to podcasts that challenge your perspective. Instead of surrounding yourself with gossip and negativity, seek out conversations that inspire and educate. The quality of your thoughts is directly influenced by the content you expose yourself to, so choose wisely. Your physical surroundings also play a major role in your ability to stay disciplined and focused. If your environment is cluttered, chaotic, or full of distractions, your mind will struggle to concentrate. A messy workspace makes it harder to focus, a home full of temptations makes it harder to build good habits, and a routine that lacks structure makes it harder to stay consistent. Small adjustments to your environment can make a huge difference. If you want to read more, keep books within reach. If you want to eat healthier, fill your kitchen with nutritious foods. If you want to be more productive, create a workspace that is free from distractions. Your surroundings should reflect the kind of person you want to become. If your environment constantly makes it easy to fall into old habits, change it. Rearrange your space, set up reminders, and remove unnecessary distractions. The fewer obstacles between you and your goals, the easier it becomes to stay on track. Your daily routines are also a crucial part of your environment. Many people believe they lack motivation when in reality they simply lack structure. A strong routine eliminates decision fatigue and ensures that you make progress even on days when you do not feel motivated. Instead of relying on willpower, create habits that make success automatic. If you want to exercise daily, schedule it at the same time each day. If you want to improve your mindset, start your mornings with affirmations or journaling. If you want to develop a skill, dedicate a specific time block to practice. Your routine should be designed in a way that makes it impossible to ignore your goals. Consistency is not about being perfect. It is about making your habits so ingrained in your daily life that skipping them feels unnatural. It is also important to set clear boundaries in your environment. Many people struggle with focus and productivity because they allow their environment to be controlled by external factors. They check their phones every few minutes, say yes to every distraction, and let other people's demands dictate their schedule. If you want to make real progress, you must protect your time and energy, set boundaries with social media, limit time spent on unproductive activities, and learn to say no to things that do not align with your goals. Every time you allow distractions to take over, you are delaying your growth. But when you take control of your environment, you take control of your future. The final and most powerful aspect of your environment is your internal dialogue. No matter how perfect your external surroundings are, if your mind is filled with self-doubt, negativity, or limiting beliefs, progress will always feel like an uphill battle. The way you talk to yourself matters. If you constantly tell yourself that you are not good enough, not smart enough, or not capable enough, you will subconsciously sabotage your own progress. But if you train your mind to focus on growth, possibility, and resilience, you create an internal environment that supports your success. Instead of dwelling on failures, learn from them. Instead of fearing challenges, embrace them. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Your mindset is the foundation of your reality, and it is the one environment that you have complete control over. Creating a supportive environment is not about waiting for ideal conditions. It is about designing your surroundings in a way that makes success the natural outcome. If you want to improve by just 1% every day, your environment should make that improvement effortless. It should encourage growth, eliminate distractions, and push you forward. The more intentional you are about shaping your environment, the less you will have to rely on motivation and willpower alone. Success is not just about effort. It is about positioning yourself in a way that makes progress inevitable. When you surround yourself with the right people, consume the right information, build the right habits, and create the right mindset, there is no limit to how much you can grow. Take control of your environment, and you will take control of your future. The power of patience and consistency in self-improvement is often underestimated. In a world that glorifies quick results, overnight success, and instant gratification, many people struggle with the idea of slow, steady progress. They want immediate transformation, drastic changes, and visible results within days or weeks. When progress feels too slow, they get discouraged and give up. But the truth is, all meaningful growth happens gradually. Whether it is building a skill, developing a new habit, or transforming your mindset, the key to lasting success is patience and consistency. The small steps you take every day may not seem significant at first, but over time they create unstoppable momentum. Improvement is not about making massive leaps overnight. It is about showing up, putting in the work, and trusting the process, even when results are not immediately visible. One of the biggest mistakes people make in self-improvement is expecting to see instant results. When they start a new habit, like exercising, reading, or waking up early, they want to feel different right away. If they do not see immediate progress, they assume it is not working and abandon their efforts. But real change does not happen in a few days. It takes time. Imagine planting a seed. You water it every day, but for the first few weeks, nothing seems to happen. If you stop watering it because you do not see any results, the seed will never grow. But if you keep taking care of it, eventually the roots will develop and the plant will break through the soil. The same principle applies to personal growth. The early stages of progress are invisible. You may not see results right away, but beneath the surface, changes are happening. Your brain is rewiring, your habits are strengthening, and your mindset is shifting. The key is to keep going even when it feels like nothing is happening. Patience is not just about waiting. It is about trusting that your efforts will pay off in the long run. The reason so many people struggle with consistency is because they do not believe in the process. They want proof that their actions are making a difference before they fully commit. But the truth is, belief comes before results. You must have faith that your small daily actions are leading you in the right direction. If you only stay consistent when you see immediate results, you will never achieve anything meaningful. Success is built on consistency, and consistency requires patience. Every great athlete, artist, entrepreneur, and leader understands this. They did not reach their level of success overnight. They put in years of effort, often with no visible progress, before they saw the results of their work. If you want to improve by just 1% every day, you must learn to embrace the process, not just the outcome. Another reason patience is so important is that growth is not always linear. Many people expect their progress to follow a straight upward path, but in reality, progress often happens in waves. Some days you will feel unstoppable. You will be motivated, focused, and full of energy. Other days you will struggle, you will feel stuck, unmotivated, and frustrated. This is normal. Growth comes with ups and downs, and setbacks are part of the journey. The mistake most people make is giving up when they experience a setback. They assume that if they struggle, it means they are failing. But setbacks are not failures. They are opportunities to learn and improve. The people who succeed are not the ones who never face obstacles. They are the ones who keep going despite the obstacles. If you want to build patience, you must accept that challenges are part of the process. Instead of seeing setbacks as reasons to quit, see them as lessons that make you stronger. One of the best ways to develop patience and consistency is to focus on the process, not just the outcome. Many people set big goals like losing weight, starting a business, or mastering a skill, and become obsessed with the final result. They measure success only by how close they are to their goal, but this approach can be discouraging because big goals take time to achieve. Instead of focusing only on the end result, focus on the daily actions that lead to that result. If your goal is to get in shape, instead of obsessing over how much weight you have lost, focus on exercising regularly and eating healthy. If your goal is to become a better writer, instead of worrying about publishing a book, focus on writing a little bit every day. When you shift your focus to the process, success becomes inevitable because you are taking consistent action toward your goal. Another important aspect of patience and consistency is avoiding comparison. In today's world, it is easy to compare your progress to others. Social media is filled with success stories. People who seem to achieve amazing results effortlessly. When you see others succeeding faster than you, it is tempting to feel discouraged and doubt yourself. But comparison is one of the biggest killers of patience. Everyone's journey is different. Some people may reach success quickly, while others take longer. What matters is not how fast you progress, but that you keep progressing. The only person you should compare yourself to is who you were yesterday. If you are improving even slightly, you are on the right path. Focus on your own growth and trust that your efforts will pay off in their own time. A powerful way to stay patient and consistent is to track your progress. When you measure your improvement over time, you can see how far you have come even if the changes are small. Keep a journal, track your habits, or take notes on what you have learned. Looking back on your progress can be incredibly motivating because it reminds you that even small efforts add up over time. Sometimes you will not realize how much you have improved until you reflect on where you started. One of the greatest rewards of patience and consistency is that they build self-trust. Every time you stay committed to a habit, follow through on a promise to yourself, or push through a challenge, you prove to yourself that you are capable of growth. This builds confidence, resilience, and a strong sense of self-discipline. When you trust yourself, you no longer need external motivation to keep going. You develop an inner belief that you can handle any challenge, overcome any setback, and achieve anything you set your mind to. In the end, success is not about luck, talent, or intelligence. It is about showing up every day, doing the work, and staying patient. The people who achieve great things are not always the smartest or the most talented. They are the ones who refuse to quit. If you commit to improving just 1% every day, the results will come. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually your efforts will compound and the transformation will be undeniable. Trust the process, stay consistent, and embrace the journey. The life you want is not built in a single moment. It is built through small daily actions repeated over time. Keep going, and one day you will look back and realize how far you have come. The journey of self-improvement is not about making drastic changes overnight, but about committing to small, consistent progress every day. By focusing on just 1% improvement daily, you create habits that compound over time, leading to massive transformation. It starts with a strong mindset, clear goals, and the ability to embrace challenges as stepping stones rather than setbacks. Surrounding yourself with the right environment, maintaining discipline, and trusting the process ensures that your growth remains steady and sustainable. Patience and consistency are the foundations of long-term success. And those who persist despite obstacles will always outgrow those who seek shortcuts. The key is to believe in yourself, take action daily, and trust that even the smallest steps move you forward. In the end, success is not about speed, it is about persistence. Stay committed, stay patient, and one day you will realize that you have become everything you once aspired to be.